Good morning, you guys. I hope you're having a good Easter weekend. So, I wanted to come and to touch on this whole story about Storm and Tasha. Before I get my day going, I'm probably going to come back with a couple more videos. I'll see how this one goes, and if not, maybe tomorrow. But um, so Tasha, to my understanding, went live on her own platform, Tasha K Live, which you can apply for the app. I mean, you can download the app or you can go to the website, to my understanding, and sign up on the website or download the app. And she decided, as you can see in this message, that she was going to go live and talk about someone, and she didn't name that person. And to, I guess, from Storm Chasers, it was about him. And he said that he wasn't going to go live about it, but because everybody kept running to him and running in his DMs on all his platforms, he decided to go on and speak on it. That she was, I guess, saying things about him, about she just tried to help him. She don't know why he is acting the way that he's acting. Um, and so I think for the people that follow both of them, because naturally, the people that were going back to tell him were people that follow both of them, right? And a lot of people were introduced to Storm through Tasha, including myself. When he's going to talk about, I'm going to let you guys listen to him a little bit. He's going to talk about the very first episode where they went live together, and I guess he was at her house, and they were talking about how they were going to do this podcast together called The Wine Cellar. And I talked about this before, because she had the whole Rainbow Coalition come through there. The YouTubers that are based there in Atlanta with them, like T.S. Madison. Funky Dineva at that time was based in Atlanta. He is now in Miami. But at the time, he was still living in Atlanta. And Justin was there, was a guest as well. And so you having all these people come through that's a part of the Rainbow Coalition. And they're, some kind of way sliding into the conversation if what is going on with Storm, like is Storm a part of the coalition as well. And so I think that for me, this is my opinion, right? This is my opinion. I think that probably was the beginning of the friction, because I'm sure people that had been following Storm long before Tasha had probably felt like she might be doing that a little bit on the intentional side, because there are so many other YouTubers, and there's so many other YouTubers based there in Atlanta as well, that she probably could have reached out to kind of mix it up, right? Kind of mix it up. Even though they all do the same thing, the gay guys, usually you see a lot of the gay guys that are doing the celebrity gossip and so on, right? You don't necessarily see the heterosexual black males doing it. And so you still could have reached, we're all black, regardless of what sector we're in. You still could have reached out to some, even, I mean, or even non black people. I don't really care who she invited, but she could have invited other people outside of people. They're going to come there. Every time they sit down with somebody in his wine cellar, they're asking him about his sexuality. And so I think that was a bit of the friction. Now, Storm, of course, maintains that he's not, right? He says that he just don't have an edge, right? We don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. And that's not even for me to concern myself with anyway. I'm not concerned about whatever he's doing in his bedroom, because I'm not going to his bedroom. So it's not my problem. It's not my issue. It's nothing that I really, really, really need to know like that. And so I think some people probably thought, including myself, that maybe that was the beginning of the friction between them, because you didn't see them in the wine cellar again. The only time you saw them in the wine cellar again, and it wasn't even really the wine cellar, was when the Jaguar stuff was going on, and they kind of like bragging about the views and the fact that his video kind of hit some record numbers for him, right? And so that was kind of the last time that you really saw them together like that. And that's why I came to the conclusion that it was that you're bringing in people that they doing too much. But I'm gonna let you guys listen to Storm because Storm said he went over to Tasha's website, and because it's not on YouTube, it's on her website, the video, and he listened to what she was saying about him. You know, a lot of people that ran to him said they were upset at the fact that she was bringing up his mother, right? She was saying things about his mother because I guess his mother moved to Atlanta with him. We didn't know that, nor do we need to know that. There was at one time I was watching one of Storm's videos because you guys know he has a back channel as well. That's kind of for him and his storm chasers or whatever. And it's kind of more personal, right? He talks about himself, you know, losing weight, different, buying a car, moving, and all that stuff, right? He kind of give you a little more insight in himself, into himself. And so I think he was on that. He may have been on that channel, that back channel. And his mother was in the background answering the door, right? And she kind of gave you that black mama feel, right? And so everybody started saying that in the comments, like your mother sound like she don't play, right? And so that's the only time that his mother ever came into play to me that I can recall. Um, you know, that she was even at his apartment or at wherever he was living at the time. And a lot of people in the beginning, a lot of these YouTubers, they were saying that he was actually living in Tasha K's basement. A lot of them were making videos saying that, which Storm kept going live saying that wasn't true. He was never living with Tasha. Tasha's a married woman, okay? So he was like, I was never living in their house. She has a family, she has children. And, you know, people were going live though saying all kind of stuff. And I don't know. So he said his mother was there with him and he was looking out for his mother and he's not going to, you know, he don't see the problem with that. I don't see the problem with it either. So anyway, I don't really know what all she said because I didn't watch it. I'm not a member of her website. So, but I'm just going on the stuff that he's going to bring up. And so he starts pulling all these receipts about how he met her, how he went to Atlanta to visit, and then he eventually moved there. And I guess she was saying him and his mother was on air mattresses and all kind of stuff. I'm gonna let you guys listen to what he had to say.
Y'all think I was gonna do once I got to California? Your boy was gonna work. Your boy was gonna stay in the motel, hotel, I won't tell, and get it and make it work like I've always done. I've never hidden that from y'all. So why that's being used against me now, I don't understand. But let's just put it out there, okay? So according to my contract, which started June 18th, 2019, I had three duties. Which was to serve as a co-host and deliver a newsworthy commentary, arrive no later than 1 hour prior to scheduled start of shows, and be available to prep and support the production company and Tasha K curate topics and rehearse, etc., etc. We've already been over the fact Winos did not like me at first. It just wasn't a good fit. And I knew that. Contract is right here. Contract is right here, right? Started June 18th, 2019, 21, 22. It's technically null and void. It technically can be null and void at Kiwi Studios as well. So technically it is null and void. But according to this, okay, y'all can't even see that because the light is so bright. It ends June 18th, 2022. So everybody kept wondering why he keep talking about 6 months. Why he keep talking about 6 months? 6 months this, 6 months that. I just wanted this to technically be out. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, you can kind of see it now. That's it. June 18, 2022. That's it. So, okay, let's keep going, right? What she did for me, what she got me. Production company will provide location cameras and blah, blah, blah to enhance the show. So that was all, whatever we was going to do on her show was her show. Moving right along. My compensation. Let's get to it. Production company will assist talent in logos, intros, outros, thumbnails, and set design, right? We'll promote the YouTube channel on the social media. We'll donate a professional camera and light equipment. will coach talent on navigating YouTube's algorithm, building a website, obtaining paid sponsors. Only thing we never did was a website. My whole point is we had an agreement that you asked me to come here for. We had an agreement. Don't get me wrong, I jumped at the opportunity for mentorship, but I still stand on the fact, and I'm not backing down from it, that all of this still could have been technically done over Skype. The show didn't work out. That's fine. I did way better by myself anyway, because that's what it's meant to be. So that's fine. And sometimes God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, will use your ass to move somebody's purpose along to get them on the right track. You don't even know you're being used. You don't even know why you want to answer the switch. You don't even know why you want to give a motherfucker $10 here or $15 there. It wasn't even about you. It was God using you to put that person on their purpose. And that was it. Nothing more, nothing less. So I've always been grateful, and
So yeah, so he's kind of explaining the whole contract situation. And you guys can go over to his channel if you want to hear everything he had to say, because it's about probably close to 2 hours, hour and 45, somewhere in there. And he pulls his receipts, like he's pulling, like I drove to Atlanta to meet with her, and like he said, then the whole COVID thing hit anyway, and then nobody could be together, and so he was right. They probably could have Skyped or Zoomed from where I think he was in Phoenix, so he could have done that from here. I mean, from wherever he was, and not necessarily go and move, pick up everything and move to Atlanta. And of course, he took his mother with him. And I thought that if she did bring his mother up in that way, that's very rude for her to do that. And this is kind of what Armand Wiggins was always saying. Like, he was glad that he did not fall into the mentor. At first, he wanted to go the mentor, right? Because, I think that you start getting stuck at these numbers and you're like, oh, I would definitely love to just build my numbers up real fast, right? And obviously, if you go to somebody and they have close to 1 million subs, then you're going to be seen by far more people than what you're seeing. Your people that are seeing you on your platform, and so in that way, you see the benefit of doing that, right? But at the same time, when people do things for you, especially certain kind of people, they always try to throw it in your face at a later date. And so, like Armand was saying, he was pretty happy that he did not take that route because I've talked about all of this before. You guys go back to my older videos and probably, will hear me saying this then. She offered contracts to Armand and to Milagro of Mob Radio, and Mob Radio, she also had kind of went in on Tasha because she said Tasha caught an attitude because she said that she was going to think about it, and then she just said no, she didn't want to do it. And yeah, you have to be careful getting into situations like that with certain people because some people can't handle success anyway, right? They're blessed, they get blessed in certain ways, but then they can't handle it. They are not no longer in a humble state of mind, right? And so she didn't, to be honest, this is my opinion from watching Storm myself, she didn't do that much for Storm anyway. Okay. I feel like the people that like Storm. And like I said, and I just said this a video or two ago, everybody's people that are going to subscribe to your channels, they're going to subscribe to people's channels for different reasons, right? And different personalities are subscribing to these people. And then some people may be subscribed to all these people, right? Just because you want to stay on top of their perspective of whatever the topic is, because we're all going to talk about the same stuff, but we're all going to see it differently because we're looking at it from different lenses, right? We're all coming from different walks of life and different perspectives on life. And so we're going to see things a different way. I feel like Storm was doing the best thing by staying by himself, to me. Now, if they could have just gotten together and just to do the wine cellar maybe once a week or something, that probably would have been different. But when you put somebody on a contract and now they're kind of at your beck and call and they got to show up to do this and do that, or they got to back down from, like a lot of people were saying, no, don't allow her to take over that Jaguar situation. And he was under contract with her, right? And he still is. You hear him saying that. It's technically he's still in that contract until June 22nd. I mean, June 2022, which is this year. And so, and it's null and void if she says it's null and void. So he is doing the right thing by just being careful how he deals with her until that time, right? And don't be surprised in July if he go live and go off. Okay, because at that point he doesn't have to respect any of this nonsense that she put in this contract, right? And so I agreed with Armand back then, and I agree now, and I agree even for myself. I don't want to deal with all these other folk. I'd rather do whatever it is I'm doing on my solo, right? Just me, myself, and I. Because when you start getting involved with all these people, then all this drama gets to getting stirred up, and all this nonsense, people all in your business, and then they pretend they smiling in your face, and then as soon as if whatever happened between you, now they want to run all your business and whatever. Like her bringing up his mother was uncalled for at all. Nobody even knew the Storm's mother was even living there, first of all. And it's neither here nor there if she was. That is his mother. And if that's, she was with him in the city before, she decided to take that journey with him. That's their business. Why do we even need to know about that? And what they were sleeping on and all this nonsense, and that she was giving him money to do this, that, and the other. He said in the video he's going to admit that he did ask her for X amount of dollars, and just until things started rolling for him, right? He says he's not afraid to go to work. He said he worked places there in Atlanta. He was working before he went to Atlanta, and so he didn't have an issue with that. And so I don't know. I don't really know why she decided to do that video. I guess she was just saying people may have been asking her about their relationship. And you really don't see them together or talking that much, right? But I just felt like Storm was a different personality from Tasha K anyway. And even though he can go there, he probably that he didn't want to make that his brand, right? And you're also going to hear him say that in the video. He's ready to go in a different direction now. He wants to talk about issues instead of talking about celebrities, and to change his channel in that direction. That way he's not just sitting here talking about these people and whatever it is that they got going on. He's just really having an intellectual conversation about issues that are out here that may arise, even though they may come up through by way of celebrity. They don't necessarily have to, when you're holding that conversation, it's not necessarily about that celebrity. You could still, because we all can relate to the same issues. Women are going to get cheated on whether you're a celebrity or whether you're not, right? Things are going to happen. People are going to experience discrimination. People are going to go through whatever in their marriages, in relationships. People gonna fall out the closet, kind of stuff in your life, regardless of where you are, right? So you don't necessarily have to wait for that to hit those things to come, those conversations to come up by way of a celebrity. And I agree with him. And I think that you know, all of this stuff works for Tasha, right? The mean spirited, the being evil, the making up stuff on people and doing it works for her, right? That's her brand. It works for her. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily for everyone to do that, and that it's gonna make sense for everyone to do that, especially if that's not who you really are. Okay. Yeah, I think that he said she was bringing up the fact that he dated a white person, a white girl or something in high school and college. Now, he's already talked about the fact that when he was going to school in Arizona, to ASU, he joined a all white fraternity. He's already talked about that because other YouTubers have already put that out there. So he has already addressed that. I don't know what all she said in her conversation, but like I was saying, his people were upset that she was bringing up his mother, that she brought up the mother, and that's what they had a problem with. That they felt like she should not have brought up his mother like that. It was disrespectful. It's kind of overstepping, right? Because if you have an issue with me, then keep it on me. You don't need to be bringing up nobody else related to me or whatever. You have an issue with Storm, keep it on Storm, right? That's who you claim you have the issue with. And the reason you see Lovely T in this is because another YouTuber was asking, because Tasha just hit 1 million subs, and she was saying that even though people are saying that her YouTube channel is going to come down, YouTube sent her a nice letter and her plaque, her million sub plaque. So she has definitely officially hit the 1 million subs, and her channel is not coming down. Um, because we are separate entities from YouTube, and when people have issues with Tasha K, then that's what you have the issue with. It's not necessarily with YouTube. That's why she had to sue Tasha K. Tasha does not work for YouTube. She is just allowed to use this platform to set up her own situation. And so anyway, so she was just kind of trying to break that down, and then somebody else was asking, and I can't remember who anyway, but she was saying, well, I wonder why Lovely T didn't hit 1 million before Tasha K, because Lovely T was already here, right? I think everybody, and I've said this before as well, everybody on YouTube is on YouTube with different agendas. People can think whatever they want to say. Everybody that's on here is clout chasing and doing whatever. You can say whatever you want to say about it, but everybody's agenda for coming to YouTube is not the same, right? Whether people choose to believe that or not. I don't think Lovely T is trying to take the route that Tasha K is taking. And she's already made that clear. Like, she's not going to sell her soul. She's not doing a bunch of stuff, tap dancing and a bunch of stuff to get to no million stuffs. She comes on this platform when she feels like it. I think she has set dates now. And she will discuss all of the trending topics, as I call it, or whatever y'all want to call them, hot topics, or stories that are out here. She would touch on those things when on those dates that she come to YouTube. She's also on other platforms. She also has a podcast. She's on Patreon. She's on Discord. She has other situations going as well. So she doesn't have to sit here and mainly focus on YouTube, right? And I think Tasha is just now moving into those other areas, and so that's why she's not she doesn't have to concern herself, because a lot of the people that follow her on YouTube go to her Discord, because she's talking about conspiracy theories and other things on her Discord. She's talking about, different things on her Patreon that she's not sharing on her YouTube. And so, because she has those things set up and in place, she doesn't have to come to YouTube like that. And she's not trying to become a celebrity. She's not trying to get off into Hollywood and do all this, that, and the other. So everybody's agenda for coming on YouTube is different. Everyone's using this platform for different reasons. And so people need to be clear about that. That's my opinion. Now, Lovely T can go live and tell y'all whatever it is that she want to tell y'all. It is for her, right? That's my opinion. I just feel like they just have different reasons for being here. And so she's not in some fight with anyone to get to 1 million subs. She has talked about um, she didn't understand why, YouTube, they don't necessarily promote some of the urban, they now have, so I should even go into that conversation, because they do now have like a whole urban platform out, within YouTube as well. And some of the YouTubers are a part of that, the ones with the large platforms. And so it's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but she can explain it better, because she was the one who said it. But she was just saying that she felt like the promotion of the urban YouTubers is not really there to make sure that they reach success, right? You don't really see our videos until you're looking for certain topics, and then we will come up under those hashtags. Even though some people would say it's not important to hashtag your videos, but at the same time it is, because those videos come up under those topics. And so people will either want to click on it and see what you're saying or not, right? But as far as us coming up with, as soon as you come to YouTube, if you're not signed into your account, we're not going to come up. We don't come up. Only the people with huge platforms, 10 million, 6 million subs, those people are going to come up, and the majority of them don't look like any of us, right? You may see Will Smith. I think Will Smith is up there. You may see Will Smith, but outside of Will Smith, you will not see too many other people of color. And so she has had that discussion before, but she, like I said, is on several other platforms. So, and she's more than likely getting paid because a lot of people that follow her on YouTube follow her in those other platforms because she's going to have different discussions on those other platforms. She's not talking about the same stuff. And so, yeah, that's my opinion. That's what I think. That's the reason that she's not at the million. She's very close though. She's at 9 million. I mean, 952,000. So she's very close to it. She could get there, I guess, if she really wanted to push for it. But like she said, she's not overly concerned about it like that. At the same time, you know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the whole situation between Storm and Tasha K. I agree once again with Armand Wiggins. They're both not innocent in that situation. At the same time as well, I think that you know he probably should have paid closer attention to the personalities of her and how she was handling herself here on YouTube. And really ask himself, was that something that he could align with? Do that really fit my values? Her values, do they really fit with mine's? Right? Do the way she handled herself, is that's the way I really want to handle myself? Because Storm, like he can go there. And I think that a lot of people that follow him tried to tell him, like, nah, we don't really want to see you doing that as well. And so I think that it's about that as well. Like, people can see that he could just do some other things, and he's talented in some other ways to where he shouldn't, have to jump out and scream and holler and demean people and do all this other stuff. And even though she's toning down a lot as well, Tasha K has toned down a great deal. She's definitely taken her channel in a different direction, and she's trying to do some other things as well. But I think that some of that stuff kind of speaks to people's personality. It kind of lets you know, like, you could have saw this coming if you really would have been paying attention to her. That she was, if anything happened between y'all, she was probably going to flip on you, right? Because in that contract, I'm a firm believer people should ask for the things that they need. You don't talk about me, okay? Let's go and throw that on up in the contract. Don't discuss me. We're going to show each other that mutual respect. Don't discuss me. Because it's kind of unfair that she can run it wherever and start saying all this stuff about him, but he feels like he has to kind of respect her a little bit more based on whatever is said in that contract. Yeah, don't do me. Don't say nothing about me if I'm not talking about you. Now, we in all out war is on. It is what it is. um, but don't allow people to put you in a position where whatever they're saying is more important than you, because technically he still was helping her as well, right? He still was helping you, and that's the only reason that she wanted to do that whole mentoring thing, because there is something in that for her, right? I know they were saying, I think Milagro was saying something about 10% or whatever the percentage was that she was going to get off of these videos or whatever she was doing for these people. um but still, no. Yeah, I think that you have to make things clear like that. Otherwise, people will try to disrespect you. Let me know what you guys think about that whole situation in the comments, and about the Lovely Teas. Do you think Lovely Tea care about hitting a million? I just don't think that she has the same agenda as Tasha K. Personally, I don't. I think that she's doing well when she goes live on YouTube. Her videos do very well. She's still earning money. Her videos that she already have had up for years, they are still earning money. So she doesn't need to chase down a million subs. If they happen, they happen, right? And I think that when we keep this attitude, then it kind of keeps us grounded as well. Because when you start trying to sell your soul to the devil for whatever it is, then that means that you're willing to do anything to get to wherever it is. You know, let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comments. If you watch some of the other commentary on this from Wiley, from Storm, I mean, not, Storm's video, and then um, King of Pain, he touched on it, and Armand Wiggins. Everyone kind of touched on this video that Tasha supposedly put up saying all this stuff about Storm. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Do you think that what I'm saying is fair? Because I feel like if he's not talking about you, you probably shouldn't be out here talking about him. I think that you guys should show each other that mutual respect. And I think that's fair. Um, because like he was saying, and you guys can go over to his channel and watch it, he really could go in. I'm sure he knows things about Tasha. I'm sure he has formed judgments about her, about certain things that's going on in her life as well. And he could probably put out here, right? So everybody has an opinion, everyone. And just because people are not expressing them, do not mean that they can't, or that don't mean that they don't have them. So, I think, all is fair in love and war at the end of the day, but it's quite, I think that because he just trying to let that, and he's being smart about that. I would do the same thing. Let that June date, whatever it is, let that go by, and then somewhere down at the end of the summer, if he wanted to address it again, he probably can. Um, but let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.